We love being able to go to the different high school, colleges, middle schools to live broadcast sporting events around the area. Georgia Alabama Sports Live appreciates all the fan support, but without a presenting sponsor like Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC and Opelika, none of this would be possible. So we want to say thank you so much. Go to glennsmith.com. That is right, glennsmith.com. See all the inventory and see why people always say, get ready to smile. Thanks, everyone, and thank you to Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC for being our presenting sponsor.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show. And we are back here. It is the Hardaway Coaches Show, and I'm excited as we hope to have some great Hardaway coaches. If you missed the sitting down with an athletics director, state of the programs with Thrift, Barringer, and the athletic director of Hardaway, Coach Kendall Mills, that is on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. What a fantastic interview. And like we always do, as we sit down with the ADs of these schools here in the Chattahoochee Valley, we like to have a coaches show, and that's what we have for you. And the first coach that we have is the football coach of the Hardaway Hawks, and we'll bring him on shortly. It is Ryan McKenzie. He's entering his second season as the Hardaway football coach. They are in a new region. We'll have some rivalries restored, including that big rivalry with Columbus. Carver is now a region rival. We still have that rivalry with Shaw and Kendrick and Jordan. I think it's going to be fantastic, and I think the sky's the limit for the Hardaway Hawks football team. We're going to go ahead and bring him on the Hardaway Coaches Show. It's Coach Ryan McKenzie. Coach, thank you for taking time out of your schedule being a part of the Hardaway Coaches Show.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
All right, so before we get into the season, recapping last year, the outlook for this upcoming season, just tell us a little bit about your coaching background, your playing days, and where you grew up, and what got you into coaching.
From Montezuma, Georgia, small town, Macon County. I played there, Macon County High School. Played there, played Little League all the way up into high school. And upon playing, I kind of developed a relationship with my coaches. I come from a single-parent household. And my coaches played the father figure role for me. So just from playing football, enjoying the game, enjoying the camaraderie and the brotherhood, I was able to just latch on to some guys who believed in me. I wasn't always the biggest, fastest, strongest, but I worked extremely hard, and I just did everything that I was supposed to do to make sure that I left the program in a better state. So ended up playing pretty well. I played center and offensive line. Got a chance to play at Mesabi Range Community Technical College in Virginia, Minnesota, which is an hour away from Canada. Never seen snow before. Got on the plane and went up there, and man, we had a blast. Learned a lot. Kind of, hit the ground running. And I played offensive line there. Ended up being a team captain both years, and from there, I graduated, transferred out, and I went and played at the University of Charleston in West Virginia on a Tony DeMayo. Played there 2 years, finished second in the conference, and then once I finished playing my last year, I actually got into coaching through grad assistant, and I was a GA with him, and just learned a whole lot. I knew in the 7th grade that I wanted to be a teacher and a coach. I always wanted to coach ball, and I always wanted to make an impact if I didn't have an opportunity to play at the next level. And from there, I came home, I graduated, and I was coaching in a little league rec department, and one of the coaches at the time that was at Macon County, his name is Larry Harrell, one of my good friends, one of my big brothers in the industry. He saw me coaching, and he gave me an opportunity, and we stayed together for about 7 years. We coached a tremendous amount of talent, from Roquan Smith, who plays for the Baltimore Ravens, the Georgia standout, DeAndre Hill, who played at the University of Georgia, who plays for the Cincinnati Bengals, Kahari Lane, who has the state records for touchdowns from Macon County, 2016 state champion. We had a plethora of talent. We had a great group of kids, and He did a tremendous job with fostering his coaches. And from there, we ended up leaving and going to Brunswick, Georgia. Coached down there with him for 2 years. And then we went to Macon, Georgia, Americas, Georgia. And then he had an opportunity to get into the collegiate level. And I kind of fostered my way over to Bleckley County, where I just recently, well, not recently, but I coached Amarius Mims, who just recently played at the University of Georgia, and he was the number 17 pick to the Cincinnati Bengals. And from there, I got a chance to go to Chattahoochee County and become the head coach there. I was there for a year. We made the playoffs, and then I got an opportunity at Hardaway, and we're here today. And I'm excited to be a Hawk, excited to be in Columbus, and excited to just try to do whatever the Lord lays on our heart for us to be successful over on College Drive.
Oh, Coach, there is no question. I mean, you're going into a program, and when you think of Hardaway football, I mean, we got to take it back to 2021. They made the playoffs. They had an impactful player who's going to play in the NFL. He's going to be a double-digit sack guy. That's Mykel Williams. And I thought that Mykel really laid the foundation for Hardaway football. In fact, his sister plays on the Hardaway varsity basketball team, and we'll have Coach Ellison on shortly. And I got a chance to meet Mykel at the Muskogee County Christmas Tournament. A humble guy, gives back to the community. He had his football camp in June at Otis Spencer Stadium. Really, what does Mykel Williams mean to the Hardaway family?
I think he's an epitome of Hardaway. He's the standard. I like to use the mantra, the standard is the standard. And I've had an opportunity to meet him when we had the Mykel Williams camp, and he was just as humble as they come. Of course, he heard of me through Amarius Mims, and him and Mims has a relationship because they're teammates. And he said, "Yeah, I heard you." He's like, "Just not Mims, though. You coach Warren McClendon too." And I was like, "Yeah." And he's just such a humble guy. Like I was telling Coach Mills and everybody from the Hardaway family, like we want to do whatever we can to support him and uplift him because he's Mr. Hardaway. He's done everything the right way, and he's opened up the gateway and just gave these kids an opportunity to dream and believe. And if you work hard, great things can come out of that.
All right, Coach, let's talk about 2023. It was a young team. It was just a rebuilding, going from 2-8 and then going from 0-10. But the schedule, to be fair, I mean, looking at the schedule, you had to play Carver, Harris County, Noonan, Peach County, and then you go into your region play with Westover, Bainbridge, Cairo, and Shaw. It was a very tough schedule, but you had a freshman quarterback, Bobby Gary. I thought that Bobby Gary, a tremendous athlete, he's coming back. What did Bobby learn from taking the snaps as a freshman, and what is the outlook for this season in his second year under your system?
Bobby's tremendous. I mean, he's always been a humble, meek kid, but he's unbelievably smart and talented. This year, we've seen him grow tremendously in the leadership role, and we're just trying to push him and foster him to, take that to the next level and just be more accountable. But as a freshman, he didn't blink, he didn't flinch. Not just him, but none of the guys. I mean, I told the coaches when I took the job, I knew what we were getting into. I knew the schedule. I knew how hard it was. And I knew we were playing young guys early. And I just think with them having that experience, it's only going to help them in the end. Of course, we wanted to get some wins in that thing, but we competed with those guys. Some games got out of hand, but we saw some growth. And I think it transitioned to our off season. We had an unbelievable year this summer at 707. I think so. We've grown there. Bobby has grown. The defense has grown. We had an unbelievable offseason in the weight room, getting bigger, faster, stronger. We've had an unbelievable freshman incoming class that's coming in that's going to be able to play a part in what we're doing. And I just think that we just have to keep, and I tell my kids every day, we just want to stack great days with great bricks. So if we can continue to doing that and not look at the wins and the wins and the loss columns, we're going to be fine. That stuff will come, but we got to learn how to love each other and how to be accountable for each other every day, and the other stuff will take care of itself.
Well, Coach, I'm really excited about this upcoming season. I'm looking at the schedule. You have a standalone game on Thursday night on August the 22nd. I can promise you Georgia Alabama Sports Live is going to be there because it's the only Thursday night game in town when you take on Washington. Just building out rivalries again with Kendrick, Carver, Columbus, Spencer. I'm excited about this upcoming season. What does it mean to go back into the region to face all the Columbus schools? I know that you and the administration like it because it reduces the travel to have to go to a Bainbridge or a Westover or a Cairo. But really, what does this mean to the city to have these rivalries restored once again?
I think it's great for the city. I think it's great for the kids. For one, I really feel like kids should play people that they know so they can be familiar and have confidence. And once they do that, then they're ready to attack anybody outside of them. We have, I think, about 9 high schools here. And I think we have more than enough to have our own region. But we have some great ball. We have some great coaches. I think Coach O do a great job at Northside. I think Coach Coffey do a great job over at Carver. Coach Kidd does a great job at Spencer. Columbus has a new coach that we respect tremendously, who I think is going to do a great job. Kendra has a new coach who's young, energetic, and hungry. He's going to do a great job. Shaw, Coach Garner does a great job, and they just all great guys, man. And even Jordan, I was so impressed with the way that they came out for 707, and their numbers is finally coming up and picking up, and they're competing. And we're right there with them. I mean, we're not a staple in Muskogee. We want to make sure that we get into the running and be respected, and we want to be respected consistently. It's not about 1 year, 2 years, but we want to make our mark here. We want to continue to do that, and I think renewing this rivalry and just continuing to just build, I think is going to be exciting for everybody.
Coach, talk a little bit about your coaching staff.
Coaching staff has grown a little bit. We lost our offensive coordinator, Coach Clifton Barham. He's going to go back home to Tennessee. He has an opportunity to be a head coach at Battle Creek High School in Tennessee. So myself and Coach Will Woodham will handle the play calling duty on Friday night. And I just love promoting guys from inside because I think it gives them an opportunity to showcase what they can do, and we can build our program from within. So we did a great job of collaborating that way. Got some new guys coming over. That's going to help us out. The defense is solid. I think last year we had about 10 coaches. Got some community guys with a little experience is going to come in and help us. I'm really excited about Coach Maddox, who's a Columbus legend, who's going to come over and help us out a little bit. And just a whole plethora of guys, man. I mean, I can't thank them enough. We work from sun up to sundown. They don't complain, and they're there for kids. They love kids, and we do things the right way. So we're excited about these guys, and we're fired up to get out on the grass with them.
Coach, and my final question to you is, what is your message to the Hardaway family? How can they support the football team? What do they need to do to not only support the football team, but how can they get tickets and come out and support the Hardaway Hawks this season?
We're going to advertise our tickets throughout our school. We would love to have everybody come out. I think every game we try to have a theme. We want to make sure that we reconnect with all the alumni that's Hardaway Hawks. We want to make sure that everybody comes out. Coach Mills and Mr. McNeil does an unbelievable job of promoting things on social media for us. So any question, they can DM us, they can call the school, they can do whatever they need. But we need everybody to come out and fill the stands, not just for football, but just to support these young men. There's a lot of things that's going on in our city, and these kids come out every day and they empty the bucket. And I couldn't be proud of them. I tell them before every game, I don't care how they play. I don't care who we're playing. I wouldn't trade them for any team or anybody. And I'm just so thankful for them because they come out and they take the chance and they want to leave Hardaway better than they found it. So that's something to be proud about, and we would love to embrace that with our community and our fans.
Well, good luck, Coach, this upcoming season. I can't wait to hear from you at Muskogee County High School Football Media Days on August the 2nd. Georgia Alabama Sports Live is going to be there, and we're looking forward to that interview.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having us, and we appreciate all that you do for Columbus and Muskogee County. And whatever we can do for you guys, let us know.
Absolutely, Coach. Hardaway Hawks football coach Ryan McKenzie. We're going to go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, we are going to have the girls' head basketball coach of the Hardaway Lady Hawks, Coach Kelly Ellison. You don't want to go anywhere. It's the Hardaway Coaches Show here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And we will be right back.
You're watching right now the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show that is presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC. Get ready to smile. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome to the Campus Academy Private School, where every student is celebrated for their individuality. With personalized curriculum, students unlock their potential, growing into confident learners. At the Campus Academy, we give teachers the freedom to create dynamic classrooms where every student's voice is heard. Discover the difference. Enroll your child today and watch them thrive.
Make your way to Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Choose America's #1 compact SUV, the Chevy Equinox. Discounted up to $6,500 off. Chevy's full-size pickup truck, the powerful Chevy Silverado, is up to $12,000 off. And big Chevy Silverado 2500 HDs are discounted up to $6,000 off. Plus, enjoy no payments until fall. Make your way to Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika.
Get ready to smile.
We are back. We are smiling. It is the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show, Hardaway Hawks Coaches Show. And I'm actually going to try to get Thrift Barringer, the broadcast partner for Georgia Alabama Sports Live. You know how much Thrift loves basketball, and I know that he wants to be a part of this interview. We'll try to bring him on, but let's go ahead and bring her on without further ado. Just a rising coach who is a championship level coach that has taken the Hardaway Lady Hawks to places they have never been. And we were there watching that championship game and what Coach Ellison has done and taking them to the Final Four 2 years ago, to the championship game. And it was just an incredible championship game. But we know with majority of the team returning that they look like one of the top teams in the region. Please welcome to the Hardaway Coaches Show, Coach Kelly Ellison.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So, Coach, I got to tell you, just what you have done at Hardaway has been absolutely incredible. I mean, you had great players like Janiah Hardy and Michaela Johnson. I know I'm going to be forgetting some players, but before we actually get into the season and the team, just tell us a little bit about your background, like how long you've been coaching, where you grew up, and where you played basketball.
Okay, well, I'm born and raised from Columbus, Georgia. I played here growing up. I did upward basketball over at Hilton Terrace. I played some with Parks and Rec in the Travel Blazers organization, and I also played at Hardaway High School, of course. I graduated there in 2008. After I graduated from Hardaway, I played at Stetson University for a year, and then I transferred and played the rest of my 3 years at Shorter University in Rome, Georgia. So I played there, and then I played a little bit semi-pro, but I was kind of back and forth because the team was in Atlanta. And then I kind of decided that I wanted to go into coaching. I helped out at Columbus State for a little bit. And then I also coached 1 year as I did assistant coach at Shorter University, where I graduated from. And then I came back to Columbus and I was assistant coach at Carver High School for a couple of years. And then I got the head job at Hardaway. And I've been at Hardaway for about 8 years now.
So I got to ask you, what were the years that you were at Carver? Were you under Coach Hundley?
Yes. I was Coach Hundley's assistant coach. I was actually the assistant coach when we made it to the state championship and played Columbus High School.
2017, that was an epic battle in the city. Columbus wins the state title. You guys were the runners-up. Joe Sharon, legendary coach, winning a state title for the Columbus Lady Blue Devils. And then, of course, we all know Coach Hundley went on to win state championships in 19 and 21. In fact, you took on Coach Hundley in the Muskogee County Christmas Tournament Championship. This was the championship we all wanted to see. Hardaway and Carver for girls basketball. And now you two are region rivals. I mean, when you build a program as Hardaway and, Coach Kendall Mills, the athletic director, just speaks nothing but great things about you. What are some of the things that you learned from Coach Mills to build your team, your foundation here at Hardaway?
Well, Coach Mills was my coach when I was in high school. So definitely some of the fundamental drills. He's a very fundamental guy. He knows a lot of offenses and defenses, a lot of different schemes. So I was able to learn a lot under him as a player. And then even now as an athletic director, he, gives me a lot of advice. He makes sure if I need something that he gets whatever I need, and I can talk to him if I have any questions.
And I remember, Coach, following the Hardaway Lady Hawks 2 years ago, and making it to the Final Four. And just some of the things that I've noticed in the Muskogee County Christmas tournament, just the discipline that your team had. And you have a young team, but you also have a very balanced team with a lot of depth. And I'm actually impressed. You just talk about some of your players and some of their skill sets, because we know that Michaela Johnson is a post player, but she could also be a guard. She could also take it out and get a shot if she needs to, but she's also the type that could be a rim protector. And then I can't think of a better finisher when it comes to A.K. Shelton, who really, in the clutch moments, was able to get baskets. I remember I was there in the Elite Eight game against Holy Innocents Episcopal, where your team was down, but you were able to come back and just clutch baskets. Same with Janiyah Hardy, Adasia Burrell. I mean, this entire team's coming back, right, Coach?
Yes, most of the team is coming back. Most of our starters. Lanaya Meeks was a senior. She was our starting center, and she graduated. And she was a great player for us. She was there all 4 years, learned the system. Hard-nosed player, played hard. So we did lose her, but we are returning 4 starters. And we have some young upcoming players that show a lot of promise.
Coach, I do want to talk about the 2022 season. This is where you lost to Griffin 59-54 in the Final Four. At the time, you had players that were even younger. So we knew the future was bright for Hardaway basketball. And I felt having to play Griffin in the second round, I mean, this was a team that went on to win the state championship. We know how loaded 4A was, but getting past Griffin and then taking on a team like Holy Innocents Episcopal and getting to the championship, really, what did it mean to try to go through the gauntlet of having to play these talented teams to play Baldwin in the championship, where your team was right there to win it, and it just, we are so proud of you as a city because of the accomplishment. And I just feel like the sky's the limit for Hardaway Lady Hawks basketball. But really, what were some of the challenges of getting to the championship game?
Mm-hmm. Well, we definitely have been preparing for this for years. Like, as you said, we kept having girls come back. My 2025 class, which are upcoming seniors now, their freshman year, we made it to the Sweet 16, and we lost to Marist, who went on to win the championship. Then Final Four, the next year, their sophomore year, we played Griffin, lost to Griffin in Final Four, and they went on to win the championship. And then we made it to the championship this year. So each year, like, our team has been progressing. Those girls have been growing. They're great together. They have great chemistry. Like you said, you mentioned Michaela Johnson, her freshman year, she did play in the post, but she worked really hard over the summer, expanded her game. And her freshman year, she didn't take any threes. Now she's one of the top 3-point shooters in the city, in the state. So, that just shows the hard work and dedication and how we've advanced. And Akila Shelton, she's been a rim protector. She's been like shot blocker of the year the past couple of years, but she's also enhanced her game offensively. We have a floor general in Adasia Burrell. She's a true point guard, pass first. That's hard to find. And then we have like hard-nosed players like Janiyah Hardy coming off the bench. We have Rihanna Boynton, who was a freshman last year. She played a lot of minutes. She has some crucial rebounds and blocks. When we played Holy Innocents, that team was so tough. They have a really good guard. They had a really good young post player. But my girls, they're really disciplined. They listen to me. I like that they don't get rattled in tough situations. So that road to the championship, it was tough, but it's something we were preparing for all year. So we were ready.
Coach, got to talk about the upcoming season. I know the schedule isn't out yet. We know that Hardaway has gone from 4A to 2A, where they're going to play all the teams in Columbus and Sumter County, minus Northside. But this region is looking very intriguing, especially since Carver is in this region. And then you also have Shaw under first-year coach Marquand, and then Columbus with Coach Adams. what are you looking forward to about this region? And do you know a general idea of some of the non-region opponents that you are going to schedule? And by the way, last season scheduled a lot of tough non-opponent region opponents because you knew that you had to be battle tested to go through the long journey of getting through the state playoffs.
Right. That's right. Yes. So for the preseason, I guess you could say, before we get into region, our out of region games, we're probably going to see Langston Hughes. We have a couple of different tournaments. We are likely to see Carrollton. So just some really good, tough teams, and we're going to play them early, like you said, to get us ready. And of course, in the region, it is a little bit tougher when you're playing people that you know and you see all the time, because you should kind of know their strengths and their weaknesses, and you should play on that. And then, Carver, they have been a consistent region championship in their region. We've been region champion the last 2 years in our region. So, they're always going to be tough, and everybody's working, and, everybody in Columbus is working hard. So we just have to make sure that we're prepared, and we are going to start off with some tough games, but I think it'll be good for us moving forward into the postseason.
Coach, one of the things about the Hardaway Lady Hawks, you're top ranked in the state of Georgia. I mean, Sandy Spell has his rankings, and you are in there with a Baldwin and with the Holy Innocents Episcopal. I know that the expectations is to get to and win a championship. I mean, but do you feel like it's going to be a little bit easier now that you've gone down to 2A? Or do you feel like, well, Carver went to the Final Four. We know what Coach Hunley can do at Carver. Do you feel like that could be a challenge? Or what does 2A look like for Hardaway?
I feel like no matter what, it'll be a challenge because, at the end of the day, the A is just a number. And teams fluctuate in and out. There will be other teams that are joining 2A just like us. So, I wouldn't say that it'll be easier. It might be different. We'll see a different style of play. It might be more, fast-paced pressing team. So we'll have to adjust, and we'll have to use our strengths, like our height and our length. So I wouldn't say it'll be easier. We're just going to work hard, be prepared for the challenge. And, you never know what's going to happen. We're going to need some of our younger student athletes to step up.
Coach Ellison, what is it like to work with Coach Mills, the AD there at Hardaway?
Oh, it's great. I love working with Coach Mills. He's always just, a phone call away, whatever I need. And it's just good to have somebody, who he's my boss, but I also know that he has my back. And no matter what, he wants what's best for me and my team and Hardaway.
And the past 3 days at Hardaway, you and Coach Mills had a basketball camp. Just talk a little bit about some of the things that were going on in this basketball camp.
So the basketball camp was amazing. We had about 20 to 22 girls and boys from ages 6 to 11. And we just taught them the fundamentals. They had fun. We went over defense, offense, ball handling. I led some of the drills. Coach Mills led some of them. Some of our assistant coaches came in and helped out. And it was just really fun, just teaching kids the game of basketball, but also teaching them that they can have fun while playing it as well.
All right, Coach. And my final message to you is what can you say to the people that want to support the Hardaway Lady Hawks basketball? What are some ways that they can donate their time, their money, and really just promoting the brand to get them to the games? Because I feel that we need to put more focus. And that Thrift and we try to cover Hardaway basketball as much as the other schools here in the Tri-City area. But I mean, this is a top-ranked team in the state, and I feel like not the outside of Columbus needs to know about the Hardaway Lady Hawks and really what you have accomplished in the last couple of years. So what are some ways that your average fan of Hardaway can support the team?
Well, definitely we want people to attend games. I think it'll be a little bit easier since we are moving into the region with more Columbus teams. So we'll be playing more locally. So we definitely want people to come out to our games. Like Coach McKenzie mentioned, Mr. McNeil, Coach Mills, they're constantly posting on social media so that you'll know when our games are. We'll post schedules, and we always welcome anybody who wants to support the kids, because at the end of the day, it's about them. So we want to get as many people as possible to support them. And I think that especially people that have kids that are interested in playing basketball, I think it'd be wonderful for them to come and see these girls play, see how hard they play, see how they might want to play at a higher level one day. A lot of my girls are looking to play at the next level in college, so they can kind of see, how fast paced the game is, some of the skills that they can work on. So definitely bring families out to the games and just support any way that they can.
And Coach, I do want to say, being on College Drive, you could walk from Columbus State to come see Hardaway basketball. And I've seen Coach Hauser at your games. I know he's recruiting your team, and a lot of your players can easily play for Columbus State if they wanted to. I think it's a great tool and a resource just to get the brand of Hardaway Lady Hawks basketball out there, Coach. Good luck this season. Defending Muskogee County Christmas Tournament champions. We will have that on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. I know all the schools in Columbus are going to try to knock off Hardaway in that championship, but the thing is, you guys are all going to be playing each other in the region as well. And I'm just very excited for Hardaway Lady Hawks basketball and the accomplishments that you've done in the last 2 years, getting the team to the Final Four and to the championship. And we are rooting for Hardaway this year, and best of luck to you, Coach.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you and Thrift for all that you all do in supporting us in all the surrounding, areas, the sports and the teams. We really appreciate you.
I appreciate that, Coach. And we have also got to get you on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live show, because I was talking to Thrift Barringer. He wanted to be a part of this interview. I know we just got finished doing a Georgia Alabama Sports Live show. I was trying to get him on, but it would mean the world to him if we can have an interview with you once again. So you're more than welcome to come on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live show anytime you want, Coach.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, that is the Hardaway Lady Hawks head basketball coach, Coach Kelly Ellison. This has been the Hardaway Coaches Show. I want to thank Thrift Barringer, Chris Gates, Toygar Isla. I'm Richard Holdridge saying so long here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Don't forget, we got Harris County tomorrow. Rick Beach sitting down with the AD, Mindy Johnson. The next week, we got Kendrick, Jordan, Columbus, Carver, Spencer. I mean, we're just going to try to knock them all out. Thank you so much, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you for watching the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet and GMC. You're ready to smile.